the 2K Sports pregame show.
Here we are with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, Ernie Johnson. You're watching the NBA on 2K Sports. And on tap tonight, it's the New Orleans Pelicans going up against the Portland Trail Blazers.
Hello, everyone. Get ready for NBA action live on 2K. We're toward the end of the year now. Some clear playoff teams need to choose between playing injured starters, maybe earning a higher seed, or Brent, more importantly, perhaps resting up and being truly healthy for the playoffs. Which is more important? That's a tough one.
I think you have to really start to look at the team, Kevin, in the construct of veteran players versus young players. What kind of experience collectively have they had in the postseason? At some point, if you have a veteran team, the health of your team is most important. You always have faith that whatever you do on a nightly basis as a veteran team, that your game will travel. So I think teams lean on the side of health this time of year.
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Al-Farouq Aminu is out there with Griffin. And there's Roberson, and it's Mills, and it's Cousins in at the center. Iguodala, the pass to Irving. Pass to Bradley. Three-pointer. Good on the triple. Bradley's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
The point guard that has floor awareness has the advantage. This time it's Kyrie Irving's.
And Mills kicks to Cousins. The turnaround jumper, and it's good off the glass.
This guy is so tough to guard. He feels like he could take any challenge that the defense is going to throw at him.
Irving dishes to Favors. First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Here's Irving, shoots over Mills. That doesn't go in either for Irving. And here are the Blazers. It's a three-point game. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
And just looking at the stats, you can see, man, they were efficient on this night.
Yeah, the defense did nothing disruptive in the game, so good patience. It led to good shot selection, and then look at the excellent shooting percentage from the field.
Bradley kicks to Irving. Back to Bradley. Outside Favors. Down to 5 on the shot clock. A three ball. Offensive rebound. That shot off the mark. Trailblazers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. 1:35 left to play here in the first. Here's Irving. Banked in off the glass. Irving's got his first basket.
Great to see Kyrie Irving getting after it on the defensive end, showing how quick those hands could be, not with the ball handling, but knocking the ball away.
And you don't see it quite as often anymore, but if you give Blake Griffin some space, Brent, and a path to the hoop, he'll put you on a poster and whatever other social media you've got. And I know you've got a lot.
Yeah, log in, Kevin, and you'll see some Blake Griffin highlight plays. And it does seem like he needs a little bit more room to get to that burst. But that's a guy who's a veteran. That's a guy who's understanding his game a little bit better and still finding ways to be effective.
And at his height, you have to like what he gives you as a shooter.
But when he squares up from the medium range, there's little things you could do to stop it.
There's the screen. Mills with it. He's picked up by Irving. Aminu with the bucket.
Well, as a defender, you know Aminu's going to be spotted up in catch-and-shoot situations. It's one of his specialties.
Irving passes to Bradley. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Here's Drummond. That's good, and he's now 3 for 4 from the field. Trailblazers trail by 6. To the inside. Deflects the pass, and so the ball's out of bounds. Favors touched it last.
Playing with lots of energy here, trying to cause turnovers.
Yeah, even though he doesn't come up with the steal, that kind of deflection will disrupt the rhythm of this offensive possession.
16 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Mills dishes to Aminu. And there's the defensive 3-second call. The Trailblazers shooting their first free throw of the game.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And so he hits the technical free throw.
Really a great free throw shooter. It's unfortunate Mills gets to the line infrequently, partly because of the minutes.
Here's the dish to Cousins. From 15 feet away, and no good that time. Iguodala doesn't get it to drop for him. And we reach the end of the first quarter. New Orleans on top, up 5. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. We caught up with Kyrie Irving earlier, and he talked a little bit about expectation.
We expect so much out of each
Kyrie reminding us that it's not just the expectations of the fans and the media, but also, perhaps the most demanding of all, are the expectations they've got for each other.
Oh yeah. They're constantly trying to manage expectations while still demanding the best from one another. And I got to tell you, it's fun to watch.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And what stands out to you from the Pelicans in this one?
A huge fan of how they have rotated here defensively, been able to challenge multiple shots.
And if you're rotating like that, it's got to be a great line of communication between all 5 guys. You see that reflected on the scores, all that trust showing up with the lead.
On the court right now for the Trailblazers, we've got Mills. Al Farouk Amino is out there with Griffin. And there's Roberson. And it's Cousins in at the 5 spot. He's off on the first.
Alvin Gentry has to be proud that the responsibilities of playing defense for their squad last year was something that they accepted. They went from a bottom 3 team to a top 10 team defensively just last season.
And he got the whistle, so he'll have a 3-point play opportunity.
Cousins converts despite being bodied up by the defense there. He is just so physical and hard to contain.
And with more talent, you think the Pelicans have a chance, Brent, to step their offense up this season?
Oh, I absolutely do. I think the amazing part about last year is that the Pelicans ended up sliding their way up into the top 10 defensively. That's an area where the likes of a team like the Denver Nuggets needs to make their improvement. Maybe between those 2 teams, they're battling to find their way into the postseason.
Iguodala, that's good.
Well, Iguodala setting up, getting that good, strong base. He becomes a much better shooter when he does that.
And Cousins kicks to Aminu. Drummond working against Cousins. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
This guy is a beast on the board.
And when he gets those second chance points, he does not waste one of them.
Well, you love the NBA, but some of these guys have the DNA. He also outworks everybody. Filthy combination.
A 3 from Bradley, and it's Portland with the rebound, getting their first look of the season at this Pelicans team.
And they lost the season series against this squad last year, so trying to bounce back here tonight.
Griffin passes to Cousins. Here's Aminu. And that misses. That would have put him up.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
And the arc Iguodala has on his 3-point shots, almost like he's drawing rain from time to time.
And Brett, I read that Kyrie Irving meditates off the court. It's something he reads about and studies up on quite a bit, focused on learning and growing as a person.
Well, if meditating and taking some time out mentally to picture the type of success that you can have out on the floor, then there are some other players in this league, Kevin. They might want to take up what Kyrie Irving is throwing down.
Oh, big time put back there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder. And Favors gets it to go in on the assist by Irving. And the Pelicans lead by 3. And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Pass to Cousins. And he banks in the layup. Cousins has got 7 points here in this quarter.
Now you can just tell in his gait and in the look on his face, he's in a great rhythm after a terrific first quarter. He is feeling it here in the second.
A drive by Iguodala, and Andre Iguodala with the slam.
That's something Iguodala would like to do just about every time, a good scorer around the rim.
Over to the wing. Aminu, no one around him. Off target from outside. New Orleans leading by 3. Irving kicks to Favors. Bradley dishes to Drummond. Outside Irving. DeMarcus Cousins comes up with the rebound.
If they can just hold this now for the last shot.
Right, no need to give the ball back here. Run the clock down, be patient, and run a decent play.
Now Bradley. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. It'll count. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And the first half comes to a close. Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what an amazing performance. The hometown things were going New Orleans' way from the beginning. They showed tremendous effort and drove the action early, starting off with a 9-2 run. Well, for New Orleans, Kenny?
So far, I love their commitment on the glass.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. You look at Portland trailing here. They've got Iguodala. Kyrie Irving is out there with Bradley. Then there's Andre Drummond, and it's Favors in at the 4 slot. So that's the group out there for New Orleans. Aminu connects from three-point range. Aminu's got the first points of the second half here for the Trailblazers. Irving with it. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. Here's Drummond. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not. But sure enough, they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. Pelicans shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night.
And 72% on the year. I'm sure they'd like to improve that category.
Hey, Brent, it's been said before that champions have no off season. Thinking about that, what's your take on the balance between resting your body after a long year versus really pushing the strength and conditioning that could take you to another level the next year?
Well, I could throw it back at you, Kevin, and ask you about as you get older and your body changes, you have to do different things, right?
And more, yeah.
Right, so in your younger years, if you don't make the playoffs or you're in the playoffs, maybe to take 1 month off and get right back into the gym, your body's ready to do that and in tune. Take a player that's 10 years down the road, there's no reason for you to push your body. You can be a little more specialized and be a little more efficient in terms of what you do in the off season to get ready for what a training camp represents and then, of course, the upcoming season.
New Orleans in the lead. 90 seconds now into the second half. Out of bounds, Portland takes possession. Let's take a look at the 2K leaderboard to find out who the best defenders have been over the past month. Here are your steals leaders. Kyrie Irving is second.
Really been fantastic defensively this run for him. He's had more than his share of steals, and now he's looking to get more.
Cousins, the pass to Aminu. Portland moving the ball around. A nice shot by Griffin.
Well, you got to be precise sometimes, and Blake Griffin showing off his precision, gifted when he gets the ball that close to the hoop.
Irving kicks to Bradley, and the pass to Favors. Drummond a screen. Back to Favors. Shot clock at 6. Irving misses.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
They set the pick. Here's Aminu. A putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Griffin's got the lead up to 2 now for the Trailblazers.
All hustle there. Griffin throwing himself against the glass. Love that effort.
Down low and stolen by Cousins. And now Portland on the break. Finished off the break. And the Trailblazers lead by 4.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
DeMarcus Cousins, a big guy without a doubt who can carry the offensive load for any team that he's playing on. He puts up some incredible numbers on some decent offensive efficiency, over 20 shots a game though the last few seasons. Not a lot of defense there. You can't afford to let guys shoot freely from the mid-range. You're not going to miss those all that often.
And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Andre Drummond picks one up.
Might be the best thing about Aminu is that athleticism, so always good to see him attacking the defense to force the issue.
Two free throws for Aminu. And for Cousins, one of the reasons he can carry a team on offense is how many different ways he can score.
Well, he does an amazing job of getting to the line, and a couple seasons in his career so far, Kevin, has been over 10 free throws a game. Those are easy points to put up on the board.
The kick out to Irving. Good on the triple. Irving's got 5 points so far.
Such a remarkable scorer. Kyrie has such a quick trigger, the D has no chance there.
And it's Aminu in the corner. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers.
And lots of credit for the team around him. They're picking up the slack here tonight. He just can't buy a bucket right now. He seems to be forcing just a little bit out there. He needs to play a little calmer, a little smarter, with a little bit more poise if they're going to win this one.
From deep. No good trying to beat the buzzer. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. Trailblazers out in front, up 3. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us. Let's take a listen now to Alvin Gentry.
Guys, we got to be more solid, okay?
And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. And on the floor for Portland here in the fourth, Mills out there with Roberson. Then there's Al-Farouq Aminu. Then there's Griffin. And it's Cousins in at the 5.
Kyrie is extremely efficient from the mid-range. And when he's in great rhythm using the bounce, you know he can knock down those Jays.
Aminu dishes to Mills. Out left to the wing. Now the feed to Aminu. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. And the Trailblazers lead by 4. And here are the Pelicans now. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. That will complete this 4-game homestand. Irving passes to Iguodala. Favors with the screen. Iguodala against Aminu. And that one's good by Favors.
Good anticipation there from Iguodala, who is a very good passer.
The Trailblazers shooting well, 50% from the floor. They set the pick, and Robertson has it in the corner. He feeds it to Cousins. Here's Aminu. It's rebounded by Derek Favors. Favors got 6 rebounds in the game. To the paint, here's Irving. Oh, and he blocks it off the glass. Wow. Here's Roberson. And again, it's the Trailblazers from deep.
There's no doubt that each year he gets a little better and more comfortable from beyond the arc. That helps Robertson stay on the floor for more minutes.
And that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession. To the middle. And Drummond throws it down.
And when he gets himself into the right position, Drummond is so powerful in terms of finishing at the rim. The only way to prevent that alley-oop is to keep him from getting to the launching pad in the first place.
Screen by Cousins. Now here's Mills. D right on him. 4 on the shot clock. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him.
Oh, man, Cousins. Gotta love how the important shot finds its way to his hands.
Drummond a screen. Bradley kicks to Irving. And he's good on the 3 ball. Irving's got 5 points in the quarter.
Appreciate the mentality of Kyrie at this point, embracing the moment. He'll take the big shot.
Outside Brent. Drummond a screen to the inside. And Irving with the basket on the assist by Bradley. Bradley's got 3 assists now in this one. Mills dishes to Cousins. Kicks to Robertson. Feeds it to Griffin. And it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game.
Now here's Mills. Pass to Aminu. He kicks it to Griffin. From 15 feet away. Sinks it.
Oh, shocking there. That one's amazing.
Well, you play your heart out all night long, and then just 1 or 2 shots at the end decide the outcome.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. They're behind by 2. 43 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Al-Farouq Aminu.
And the D tried to get physical with him down low tonight, and it really backfired. Instead, he's just throwing them up. He was aggressive, inviting the contact, and really just taking it straight to him.
He has a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin. Well, look, here's what Alvin Gentry told his team during the break. He said, we got to pick it up right here, right now. If we're going to win this game, we have to take control. This is the time. Kevin.
Thanks, David. Here's Mills. And Robertson has it in the corner. And Cousins kicks to Robertson. He dishes it to Griffin. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Well, Griffin always plays hard in the paint. He knows he's going to have to stay gritty.
He sinks the clutch free throw. Can't knock it down, and they really needed that one.
Shaking his head moment there. Had a chance to put them out in front, but at least they're tied up.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. The score is tied at 42. There's 21 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here are the Pelicans with the ball. Outside Bradley.
The aggressive play right there from Kyrie when he gets into the paint, determined to score, but for sure get contact.
He knocks down the clutch free throw. Second one is good. Getting both at the line, and it's a 2-point ball game.
Ice in the veins right there. They're one stop away from winning this thing.
Now a timeout called by Portland. They're down by 2. 3 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Here's Mills. Good! He has tied up this game. Oh, what a shot.
Just fire from Patty Mills rises up to the challenge in that situation.
And that's going to do it for regulation. So we are headed to overtime. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from New Orleans. And what great competition we're seeing so far. After regulation, the stalemate, and we'll...
All right, ready to go? Ready to go?
Tip-off goes to New Orleans. And always a good ride in these post-regulation battles. This overtime now looking to be an exciting one. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So for New Orleans right now, Favors is out there with Andre Drummond. Then there's Irving. Then there's Iguodala. And it's Bradley in at the 2-guard spot. And Cousins kicks to Roberson. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that are magnified when we're talking about a game down the stretch.
New Orleans has gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight, 5 of 12. Irving passes to Favors. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Favors got the first basket here in overtime for the Pelicans. Portland trailing here. Mills dishes to Cousins. And Roberson kicks to Griffin. Over Favors. And Cousins throws it down.
Good activity as Cousins shuffled around, got himself into great position, and gobbled up that board.
Drummond the screen. Here's Bradley. Outside Irving. Three-pointers off the mark. Dishes it to Mills. Inside. He's looking for Griffin and finds him.
Oh, Griffin with a huge feel for those moments. Easy to see why he wants the ball in his hand.
Here's Irving. Second shot opportunity. And, yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, he's probably fortunate to just get a flagrant one there. I mean, so much contact. The officials easily could have gone even harder on it.
Greg, I agree. He better be on his best behavior from now on. One more flagrant of any variety, and he's out of here.
Well, crucial moment there at the free throw line, and he never flinched.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over. To Iguodala. Drummond to screen. Griffin against Favors. Iguodala the pass to Bradley. And again, no good by New Orleans. Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Over to the wing. Aminu with a screen on Iguodala. Cousins dishes to Roberson. Jacks up a three. He's off from 3. Now a timeout called by New Orleans. Iguodala against Aminu. Back to Irving.
The poise from Kyrie Irving. These are the moments he lives for.
Now a timeout called by Portland. They trail by 2. Just 2 seconds left in the first overtime. Action has been terrific. What do you think, guys?
And with a couple seconds still on the clock, I try to get the ball in as close to the basket as possible. That way, if you miss a quick one, you may have time for a putback to tie it at the buzzer.
So it's a narrow victory for the Pelicans, pulling it out for the W. They had to scrape.